You found it. Your home for the best content on your favorite team, the Fighting Tigers of LSU. Do us a favor, subscribe to the channel, leave your comments below, and be sure to smash that like button. It was a productive day for Frank Wilson and the LSU Tigers on the recruiting front Saturday. Yes, it was the spring game, but before LSU began its spring game, got a commitment from JT Lindsey, running back out of Ash. Of course, is Alexandria Senior High up in Alexandria. Shout out to our friends up there in Alec. Had a really productive junior year. 1,800 yards, ran for 26 touchdowns, did JT Lindsey. He becomes the second running back commit for LSU's 2025 class, of course, joining Harlem Berry. Harlem Berry, the number one running back in the country for 2025, is already committed for LSU, and now you add JT Lindsey as well. I think one of the really interesting things about 2025 will be if they take a third running back. Yes, James Simon is still uncommitted. We'll talk about that here in just a quick second. But as you look, and I'm going to look at the running back position, but I guess just to sort of take account for everything. So LSU right now with 12 commits for the class of 2025. This is from On 3, the number one class in the SEC, the number two class in the country. According to On 3 right now. In the composite, they're the number one class in the country. And we all know it's headlined by Bryce Underwood, a guy from Michigan, the number one player in the country, who was back in Baton Rouge this weekend. Decorian Moore, who reaffirmed his commitment to LSU. Harlem Berry, who we just talked about, the number one running back in the country for 2025. And now, as we know, adding JT Lindsey, the four-star running back out of Alexandria Senior High. So he's rated as the number 11 running back in the country for 2025. I think when I look at this, I start to kind of just take account of what the running back room is going to look like. And maybe most importantly, I look at the targets that Frank Wilson has in mind. Like, just consider what this running back room is going to look like next year, okay? So not for the 2024 season, I'm talking about 25. Josh Williams will be out of eligibility. You should return Caleb Jackson for his junior year from Louisiana. Trey Holly, provided he's reinstated, will be back for a redshirt sophomore year or his third year. Caden Durham will be entering his sophomore year in 2025. Harlem Berry from New Orleans, JT Lindsey from Alexandria. So 4 of your projected 5 running backs for 2025 from the state of Louisiana. I know I harp on this, and I don't mean to overstate it, but it's worth mentioning over and over again because it illustrates the point of what Frank Wilson is looking to do. Like, it is just a fundamental difference in the way that Frank Wilson is building a recruiting class to what Brian Polian did the first 2 years. And when you go, and I'll tell you, one of the reasons that your defense doesn't look like what LSU defenses traditionally look like is because they were getting on a plane and flying to Vegas to recruit these 3-star corners. They were getting on a plane and flying to Minnesota to recruit the 16th best defensive end in the country. Like, instead of just going to Ruston or New Orleans or Alexandria or places in Louisiana where you got dogs that have always wanted to play for LSU. That's what you've built around. Recruit the state, supplement nationally with the best players from outside of here that want to come play here, like Bryce Underwood. So you look at JT Lindsey, and I go, yes, give me more of that guy. And it might also illustrate somewhat of a change stylistically. So Lindsey is 5'11", 185. When we have typically looked at these LSU running backs, you look at guys like Caleb Jackson, who are 6 foot, 220, 230 pounds, big, thick, runners. You don't typically see the smaller backs, but you got one last year with Trey Holly, and now you're getting another one here with JT Lindsey. And when you look at Harlem Berry, he's 5'10", 177. Now, I understand these guys are in the spring of their junior year of high school. They're still a year and a half away from taking the field as an LSU Tiger. So I would assume they'll grow and develop and get bigger, of course. but you're looking at guys that just stylistically are different backs than what we've been accustomed to seeing. So does that change stylistically what LSU tries to do offensively? Do you use them more in the screen game? Do you try to run more zone outside zone, getting outside the tackles? That'll be interesting to see how Joe Sloan goes about building the offense with backs like this. I mean, for 2024 though, when you've got Josh Williams and Caleb Jackson, you can do plenty of work between the tackles, but you'll have opportunities outside as well. So JT Lindsey becomes the 12th commit for LSU's 2025 class, a class that just continues to impress. And now the big question is, what happens with James Simon? You've got 2 running backs committed already for 2025. James Simon is a 4-star. He's the number 9 running back in the country. He's out of Calvary Baptist. Do you take a 3rd running back? Now, my guess is if you got a player that's that highly ranked in the state of Louisiana, if he wants to come to LSU, you take him. But if you're James Simon and you've got Harlem Berry and JT Lindsey already committed as part of this class, do you look elsewhere where there isn't going to be as much of a logjam maybe to the field? I don't know. I don't know James Simon. I don't know what he's thinking or what he's looking at, but it feels like for months now we've heard, well, this could be when James Simon finally commits to LSU. Well, in the meantime, you've seen Harlem Berry and now JT Lindsey pop. Does he want to be part of a 3 running back class? I don't know. I guess we'll find out. But JT Lindsey is on board as the 12th member of LSU's 2025 recruiting class. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact. And be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.